Hello children, welcome back to our class once again. I hope everyone is doing good and fine. Today we are going to do revision on Unit 6, Hiwatha. This is a poem about a little red Indian boy who was living with his old grandmother. And from his old grandmother he learned many things about the nature around him. His grandmother has been telling him all the stories about the trees, the insects, the birds, the animals, and the things around him. So Hiwatha grew up listening to all the beautiful stories whichever his grandmother had told him. And he started learning their names, the language, and he talked to them whenever he meets them. And also the animals and birds started talking to him. Okay, now let's read the poem. Hiwatha was a young red Indian boy. He lived with his old grandmother, Nokomis, in a wigwam. Nokomis taught Hiwatha about the wonders around them. She told him about the stars, the trees, the insects, the birds, the animals, and many other things. Hiwatha was a young red Indian boy. He was living with his old grandmother, Nokomis, in a wigwam. As I've told you, wigwam is a house made of animal skin or dried leaves. His old grandmother, Nokomis, taught him many things about the nature. She told him about the stars, the trees, the insects, the birds and the animals, and many other things around him. Hiwatha grew up to love them all. He could talk to the birds and the animals, and they to him. So Hiwatha slowly he started loving and liking the nature, like the animals and birds, and he started learning their language. And he grew up and he loved them all. And he started talking to the animals and birds, and also the birds and animals started talking to him. Then the little Hiwatha learned of every bird's its language, learned their names and all the secrets, how they build their nests in summer, where they hide themselves in winter. Talk with them whenever he meet them, call them Hiwatha's chicken. So the little Hiwatha started learning, started understanding the bird's language. And also he started learning the names of the birds and their secrets. Like how the birds build their nest in summer, how the bird hide themselves in winter. And also he would talk to the birds whenever he meet them and call them Hiwatha's chickens. Of all beasts he learned the language, learned their names and all the secrets. How the beaver built a lodge, where the squirrel hid the corns, how the reindeer ran so swiftly, why the rabbit was so timid. Talk with them whenever he meet them, call them Hiwatha's brother. So again Hiwatha started learning the animals' language. And also he learned the animals' names and all the secrets. For example, how the beaver build their lodge, how the beaver build their homes, where the squirrels hide their scorns. Scorns means the food of the squirrels. So where the squirrel hide their food, and how the reindeer ran so swiftly. Why the rabbit was so timid. It's telling that why the rabbit gets so scared. And he will talk to them whenever he will meet the animals. He will meet them. And also he called the animals Hiwatha's brothers. Okay, let me explain to you once more. Okay, this is a story about a little red Indian boy who was living with his old grandmother Nokomis in a wigwam. So, from his old grandmother, he started knowing many things about the nature because his grandmother was telling all the story about the tree, the insects, the stars, the moons, and many other things. And when Hiwatha grew up, he started liking everything and he started loving the animals and birds. And also he learned the language of the birds and animals, and also their names, and also their secrets, and how the bird build their nest in summer, and how the bird hide themselves in winter. And also he talks to the birds whenever he will meet them and call them Hiwatha's chicken. He also learned the language of the animals, their names, and all the secrets. And also he learned how the beaver build their home, how the squirrel hide their food, how the reindeer ran so swiftly, why the rabbit gets so frightened, why the rabbit gets so afraid. And he will talk to them, talk to the animals whenever he will meet them. And he called the animals Hiwatha's brother. Okay, children? Okay, this is all about this poem Hiwatha. So, whatever I have tell you, whatever I explained to you, please listen carefully because we are going to have a unit test on this chapter as well. So, listen carefully and prepare for the unit test. Okay? All the best. See you in the next class.